the Getting Started guide video, and I'm going to walk you through a slideshow that will show you a bit about what you can expect in this course, what is going to be coming up logistically, what you can expect as far as benefits go, and we're just going to cover some basics. Thank you. Before we get started, I just want to thank you sincerely for joining this course, for being here, for doing this work, not only as the course facilitator, but really as a part of you. We're all one, and I know that every time one of us does this personal growth work, we all benefit, because the choices that you start making that impact all of us will start being one that impacts us all for the better. So thank you for doing this work on behalf of humanity. We're really excited to have you here. Now, what I'm going to do for the duration of this presentation is I will hopefully be up in a little box up into the right-hand corner, and I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see a presentation, okay? Just bear with me when I get all these logistics situated. I'm going to share my screen. So you will be coming along this journey with me of really learning all of this equipment and all of this technology. Lucky you. So here we are, I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you see me up in the right-hand corner now. Let's get this presentation going. And here we go. Let's get started. So first of all, I just want to talk about a little bit of the logistics. If you are like me, you're in this class because you're a little bit of a geek, and I say that word with much love. I love being geeky. But you probably want to know the logistics of what's going on here. So I want to let you know that we are going to have 10 modules within this course portal. So those 10 modules are going to be the welcome, which is what you're in right now, the Getting Started guide. And then there'll be a closing. And then there's going to be 8 modules in between, 1 module for each moon phase. Okay? Those modules, with the exception of this one, which is getting dropped a couple of days before the new moon, they will be dropped on Mondays and Fridays. It won't always be exactly on the first day of the next phase, because that would have been a little bit messier to correlate. But I have it so that every Monday and every Friday, you're in a new phase. I mean, I didn't create that, the moon did. Every Monday and every Friday, you will be in a different phase, and I will be explaining the vibe of the phase that you're in. And then I'm going to give you some homework to do for each phase. I'll talk a little bit more about the homework in a second. The next aspect of this course is the weekly masterclass calls. So I will be sending out a schedule that has, it will show, you know, when all of these things are happening. I'm not going to say it specifically in this video because it may be different for each run of this course, but I will send out a schedule with your weekly masterclass Q&A phone call schedule attached to it. But during these calls, this is going to be your opportunity to really work through this stuff. We will have, I'm hoping, a group of people that will be coming together, all doing this work together. And like I just said, we are all connected. So what's happening with one of us is happening with another one of us. The story may be a little bit different, but we can all be mirrors to each other. And as we come together in a classroom, whether virtual or in person, and we begin sharing the stuff of our lives with the intention to grow, not just to vomit your drama all over a group of people, but really with the intention to process the stuff of our lives in a way that helps us personally grow and develop. That's why we're here, right? So I really strongly encourage you, even if you're introverted, even if it's a real stretch on your schedule, even if it's something that is really uncomfortable for you, I really, really, really want to encourage you to make time for the weekly masterclass calls. Show up to those calls in whatever way you can. If you, I ask you, and you'll get some guidelines around this, but I ask you to show up very present, ready to be there entirely and really absorb what's going on. And there's going to be some times where you're eating a tuna fish sandwich on one side of your mouth and you're listening on the other side of your face, and you just are there to absorb. I don't want to prevent you from showing up by indicating that you need to be showing up perfectly. I want you to come as you are, but I really want to encourage you to make time for this and make time for yourself, because ultimately this time is not wasted. It is productive time. It's time spent growing the container that is the one that ends up going out into the world and doing all of the work. But anyway, in these calls, I'm going to be asking you questions. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of information, although most of the information will come in the lessons. I really want to use this time to ask you questions, have you ask me questions, move you through some exercises and some ceremonies in order to help you achieve these awarenesses and these breakthroughs that we're really seeking in this personal growth work. So this is going to be a very, very valuable aspect of this course, and I really hope that you are ready to show up for that. The next thing is the work. So like I said, every week I will be giving you work to do during these moon phases. Now, you can choose to take this as far or as not far, as close as you want to. Some people are going to come into this gung-ho, ready to rock and roll. You're going to play full out. You're going to do all of the question sequences and all of the exercises and all of the suggestions given, and you're going to read all of the worksheets, and you're going to be so excited. And then there's going to be others who really wanted to sign up for this but had a lot of going on and weren't sure if they were really going to be able to commit 100%. And they dabble and they pick and they choose. Now, you have access to this stuff for the rest of your life. The moon cycles every 29 days. Just because you don't get a chance to play full out this round, please don't give up. I want you to feel encouraged to pull this out every moon cycle if you so choose, and move through this work again and then again and again. It's not a one and done sort of thing. It's stuff that can be applied month after month. That's the intention of this whole framework, is to really get your way with it, find your unique groove with it, and then show up to it every month over and over and over again. It's going to change. It's going to flex. It's going to get refined. You're going to find new ways with your rituals and with your exploratory work. But this is starting the process. So every week, you're going to get some homework. Take what you can from it. Leave what's not meant for you right now. And get clear with yourself with how you're showing up. I'm finding a little bit of conflict within me right now, because part of me wants to encourage you to go full out, do this whole thing. Don't let this opportunity go by without pulling everything you have into this, so that you can really dig your feet into this personal growth work offered by way of exploring the phases of the moon. And then there's another part of me that says, no, you need to be compassionate to the busy people. They may only be able to dabble. And that's okay too. I have both of those things going on. We have both of those things going on. And that's just the nature of the beast. So I trust you to show up to this how you see fit. And I ask you to just be clear and have integrity with yourself. So in addition to the homework and the worksheets that you're going to get that are going to be asking you exploratory questions and having you move through different exercises, I'm also going to be filling this portal with cheat sheets and calendars and guides and different compilations of information and wisdom and insight that will help you on this journey. It is my intention to pour so much of my creativity into this course by way of using it to synthesize all of the wisdom and the information and the knowledge and all the goodness that I've absorbed over the course of these past many years of loving and living with the moon. Okay, the last aspect of the logistics of this course is the high vibe village you're going to be a part of. So I have a Facebook group because that's just the easiest way to get people together. We try other platforms, and Facebook works best. So I'm going to have a Facebook group just for this course. It's actually going to end up being for everybody who continues to take this course. And it will be a compilation of everybody who has moved through Moonrise. And because it's a cyclical experience and you're not going to just do it one and done, you're going to keep working this magic. It will be amazing once this community gets going and really starts sharing insights of things that are happening as the moon phases are moving forward. Again, when we come together in community, so much can be mirrored to us. This would be a wonderful place to connect with other people. If you are the type of person who's having a difficult time connecting with other woo people in your area, this virtual community will be a wonderful place to do something like that. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. I wanted to give you an insight into a little bit of what we are going to be working with. So this is a screenshot of the main page of the course. When you log into your dashboard, there'll be a logo in the back, and then it'll say go to my courses. If you click on go to my courses, which you had to do to get here, so you wouldn't be here if you didn't do that, then you start seeing this. So underneath this is where you'll start seeing lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and those will only appear to you once they drop. Drop means they will be released. So on Mondays and Fridays, one lesson will be dropped each day. As of today, there is the Getting Started guide is available there, and you will see there's 3 videos. There's the welcome, which is this. There is Who the Hell Am I, which is going to be a lovely introduction to moi. And what are we here to do? Where I'll go over some objectives for the course. Just below that, you'll see that there is a reference guides section. This is going to be where I put all of the goodies that I make. Right now, you can see my Moon Vibes 8 Phases quick guide. This is an infographic that I've designed that gives you a quick snapshot of all of the moon phases and their vibes. And it will be a really cool tool to have on your phone. And when you're out and about and you run into some sort of situation, you're like, oh, I wonder how this fits in. And you just pull up your phone, you can look at your little infographic, and you can find out. So I wanted to show you the screen. This platform that I'm working with, Kajabi, seems to be fairly straightforward. I'm hoping that there won't be too many challenges with technology, but please, 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 please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I believe you can do so by clicking on the word instructor right there. And I will be sharing emails with you, and I will be communicating with you regularly. Just hit reply to any of those emails if you have any troubles or questions. We are going to be going through this together, and you are going to be giving me feedback on how this all goes technologically for you. And I want to make this as simple and as fun of a process as possible. And I need your feedback and input in order to do that effectively. So I really am looking forward to you guys offering me feedback on this experience moving through this digital course. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, which is the calendar. This is very simple. I didn't want to overwhelm this with lots of words and lots of extra. So very simply, I'm going to, every Monday, when I drop the Monday module, I'll be giving you a calendar that looks like this. Obviously, the numbers of the days will change, and the moon will change. So you can see this first week, starting on Monday. The official new moon is truly on Tuesday. However, I wanted to show you this. I just realized that these numbers are incorrect. So I'm going to have to fix those before I send you the calendar, but I'm not going to stop filming this video right now. I'm going to keep moving forward because this is imperfect action in action. But Tuesday the 2nd is actually the official new moon, but a lot of times when you look at a moon calendar, they will actually show the phase starting maybe a day before the actual day, because it's really in transition. It's always in transition. Like, where is the actual point when it changes from one thing to the next? So if you look at many calendars, you'll see that Tuesday the 2nd is the official new moon. However, I'm showing it starting on Monday the 1st because that dark moon that was just before the new moon is sort of carrying over there. So every week you will get a calendar like this that will be sharing this information. And like I said, it's just going to give you a quick overview of what's going on. And it can be something you share on, save on your phone if that's something that works out for you. And just, this is all to get, this very first level is really to begin starting to be aware of the vibes present on any given moment. So this isn't intended to achieve perfection in the art of personally growing and developing with the moon. It's an introduction. It's a practice that you're going to begin. And the first part of the whole practice of working with the moon is becoming familiar with what's going on and when. And pretty soon, maybe not pretty soon, it takes a little bit, but after a while, you will begin to make guesses. If you haven't been in touch with it for a little bit and you check in with how you feel, you may be able to make a guess as to when it is right now in the moon phases based on how you feel. That's my hope for you. Not so much that you get out of touch with it, that you have to do that, but that you become so in sync with it that you can feel the microcosm happening within you that is reflective of the macrocosm that is up in the sky. So every week I'll be giving you a calendar like this, but with the correct numbers on it, and it will give you insight into what to expect that week. Okay, so this is what the homework's going to look like. This is a little sneak peek into the homework for the new moon, but every week I will have some homework for you. Some of it's going to be much more intensive and longer and ask more of you to sit down and really explore yourself, and some of it will be simpler or more direct and maybe more external and action oriented and less journaling and going within. The new moon is going to be very going within. So I will be instructing you to set up your own new moon ritual, as you can see here. So I guess I want to share that nobody's grading you on this. There'll be some calls to share awarenesses in the group. Obviously, I want the community to be something interactive and thriving, so that works best when people are participating and they are sharing what is going on for them within that container. But you don't have to. You can take this all in and do it all privately and personally in your own home. That's the glory of having a digital course. You don't have to go to a classroom and endure the social aspect of it all. And I encourage you to, if that's something that's even remotely uncomfortable, it sounds like a good place to personally grow and develop. All right, so every week you're gonna have homework, every module you're gonna have homework, and it will look like this. It'll be, that's something I don't have a slide to show you, but if you're looking at the video that you are watching on your computer screen, or on the right-hand side, there'll be a little downloads section, I believe is what it shows on your side, and there'll be little PDF links. If that is not clear, please let me know, and I can come back and talk about that and show you that in a different way. All right, so those are the logistics. That's what we're going to be working with. Here are some perks. My big thing in this course is all perspective, peace, and personal growth. So one of the perks that you get from doing this sort of work is perspective. Perspective is everything to me. To use the moon, the symbolism of the moon phases, to make meaning of the stuff of life in a way that's ultimately geared toward becoming empowered instead of victimized by our circumstances. That is so powerful, to be empowered instead of victimized by our circumstances. Having perspective, that big picture, allows us to see everything or more of a thing for what it's really there for, instead of just this personal feeling piece of it that can be so easily triggered in a reactionary sort of frame of mind. With this perspective, we really can see things in a way that ultimately leads us to having a bit more control. I don't like control, that word, but a little bit more authority or sovereignty with how we show up to a situation. Okay, so that's perspective. Peace is the second part. And we can, what I mean by this is that we can use the context laid by the moon vibe to cultivate compassion for yourself and for others in your life, allowing for peace to prevail where there was once probably misunderstanding and chaos. So much of the perspective that we gain helps us to interact with the people of our lives in a more integrous. I hate that integrity doesn't have this form of the word, but show up in a way that has a bit more integrity. And honestly, when you have more perspective, when you're interacting with other people, there's a level of compassion that can be accessed that may not be otherwise. And you can show up for them in a way that will hold the space for something a bit more peaceful to occur. All I can say is when you are less awake, when you are less conscious of what's going on, if you have less perspective, it is easier to stay in that personal feeling of a thing. And it makes it difficult to see something for what it is. When we can't see something for what it is, we react in a way against that personal feeling trigger. And having this perspective, being able to step back and see something for what it is, allows you just a moment's breath to access compassion for not only other people, but for yourself and how you're showing up to a situation. The third is sort of a growth from this, and it's the personal growth. Using this mirror that is the moon to begin working with the stuff of our lives in a way that ultimately creates these cyclical opportunities for personal growth. Like I said, every 29 days, new cycle, new cycle, new cycle. Each one of these cycles is going to take us deeper into something. You'll notice each month, each season, each year, even each week, each phase, there'll be themes, and those themes will cycle. And you have an opportunity to go deeper within certain themes, be it family, be it relationships, be it career, be it health. You'll have opportunities to cycle around to the themes over and over again, constantly digging deeper or raising higher or expanding outward, however it is that you see personal growth happening. If we engage with the cycles, the endings and the beginnings and everything in between, we will have an awareness of what is already happening. And engaging with that is already happening allows us, again, to have sovereignty in the situation. It's not necessarily about control. We can't control everything that happens. But there's a beingness, there's a way we can show up to the stuff of our lives that indicates that we have strength in it. The word control keeps coming to my mind, but that's not what I'm really getting at here. It's a sort of free agency. Agency, I love that word. It's a sense of agency within the stuff of your life that is able to be accessed by gaining perspective, taking a breath for peace, and using the cycles of our life to intentionally, personally grow. So those are the three major perks that you can get from beginning the practice of doing this work. There are countless others. These three ripple out into countless consequences. I invite you, as you begin to do this work, to start sharing the perks that you are seeing in your life in the Facebook group or somewhere else. So I'm going to ask you to commit to yourself, to this process, to this group. You'll get out of this what you put into it. Trust me when I say that. Now, I talked earlier about wherever you're at. And if you're the type of person who's super geeky like me and you're totally in it to win it and you're ready to rock and roll and go, you're going to get so much out of this. And if you're the type of person who right now is like, I have a bajillion things on my plate, but I signed up because it looked interesting and maybe I can fit it in on the weekends, what I ask from you is commit to the level that you can within the parameters that you're working with. Commit to this process and use it as an opportunity to get focused and to change your life. Take agency of your life. You were not a victim of your circumstances. You have the opportunity to take charge and free will to act within your life. And it just takes you being conscious of that and doing what it takes to create your life. Saying yes to this experience means showing up for yourself in a whole new way, mentally, energetically, spiritually, physically. Are you ready to say yes to yourself? Have I freaked you out yet? If not, I really invite you to say yes to yourself at this time. Here are some commitments that I'm going to ask from you. I want you to pay special attention to this slide. When we're done this slideshow, I'm going to ask you to open up the slide deck that will be in the downloads and go to this page. And I'm going to ask you to do something with these commitments. I would love you to film yourself in a video and show it onto into the community. If that's too far of a stretch, which I totally understand, I would love for you to video yourself and show it to yourself. If that's too far of a stretch, I ask you to at least hold these in front of you, state them out loud, out loud, out loud. If you have to go in your car, if you have to go lock yourself in the bathroom, you have to go take a walk in the woods, I don't care what you have to do to get a little bit of peace and quiet and time to just state these commitments out loud and really step into this experience. I'm going to read them right now because I'm committing to this process as well. I open up to trying and learning new things, to authenticity, integrity, and honesty, to patience with myself, to celebrating my wins and shifts with others, to relinquishing control, to trusting the process. I show up to lessons and practice consistently, to calls on time and focus, to asking for what I need, to allowing support in, to doing the work. I truly mean every word that I say as I commit to these things right alongside you. I invite you to do the same. And as you're stating these commitments, I really want you to feel into them. Be in them. Don't just say it to say it. We do that so much. This is the whole practice, is to be in it, be intentional about what you're saying, what you're doing, meaning what you say and saying what you mean. This is all part of the work. So don't just skip this by and say, oh, she'll never know if I did it or not. Please, please, please commit to yourself. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. I stand here today and I invite you into this process to see yourself, to hear yourself, to feel yourself, to love yourself, to honor yourself, to be yourself. I feel so grateful to stand in service of guiding you to yourself. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be a part of this awakening. So at the end of each video, I'm going to have calls to action. So today, your call to action is to go back on the slideshow, read the commitments, let them integrate, feel them. Then I want you to spend just a moment getting really freaking excited about what we're doing here. Then I'd like you to go on to the next lesson, which is actually not a lesson so much as a little ditty about me. It won't be too long. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, I truly look forward to this process. I can't wait to see how this class turns out. I hope you have a wonderful experience. And please let me know if you have any questions anywhere along the way. I'm here to support you every step. Thank you.